With the first month of 2026 officially in the books, many people are starting to take very long looks at their overall credit card setup, especially those pricey premium travel credit cards. And if the sloppy launch of Bilt 2.0 taught anyone anything, was to be hypercritical of annual fee credit cards in your rotation. And I personally believe the next credit card in the crosshair is definitely going to be the Capital One Venture X, especially because at the time of filming this video, the negative priority pass changes are officially live, which is why in this video, we're going to talk about, is the Capital One Venture X still worth it in 2026, as well as what the actual negative changes are that are live at this moment. But before we hop into that content, guys, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, as it directly supports my channel, and I release credit card content here on YouTube weekly. Starting with the most important and recent piece of news, last year Capital One warned everyone that early 2026 they were stripping away the ability to bring in 2 additional guests with your Capital One Venture X for free. This not only goes for the primary credit card user, but any associated authorized users as well. When I say no one was surprised that they did this, because the kind of superpower for the Venture X that was way too overpowered was that not only the primary credit card user, but the authorized user had the ability to bring in 2 additional guests each for free. As you can believe, that led to substantial overcrowdings not only for the Capital One lounges, but for Priority Pass lounges as well. But where I believe Capital One went extremely overboard was stripping it away from the primary credit card user as well. This is because when we take a look at the 4 major players in the credit card premium travel space, the Capital One Venture X, the Citi Strata Elite, the Amex Platinum, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Venture X is now the only premium travel credit card without the ability to bring in guests for free. Now, in my personal opinion, lounges aren't worth $35 each and every time you go into them, because let's say you travel 4 times a year with your player 2, you are now adding an additional $140 to your annual fee to get one of the key benefits that the credit card comes with. Now, again, this is a purely subjective opinion, and I know plenty of people that have no issue paying a $35 entrance fee, especially if you're looking to drink, let's say, 2 or 3 drinks before you board your flight, because this is going to be 2 to 3 times as much if you purchase it at the airport bars. This is a no-brainer. But for me, like I said earlier, I hate giving these billion-dollar credit card companies additional money for receiving less. But all in all, many people are going to be hurt by this nerf, but the people that are going to win are going to be those that are solo travelers, because it's going to cut down on the queue time for you to get into your airport lounge. Moving on to some specific aspects of the credit card, and before I get a little negative about some of them, I do want to say before it gets lost in the video that I still believe the Venture X has its particular customer. If you are someone that is a solo traveler without a player two, as well as someone that does not want to maneuver around the coupon book premium travel credit card game, then this card is still a slam dunk for you. But if you are someone with a bigger family that was relying on the lounge access or wanting just a little bit more from a credit card, I think that's where this credit card is going to fall short. And you are starting to see some of the biggest names here in the YouTube space trimming this credit card out of their wallet. Starting with the annual fee, the Capital One Venture X still has the lowest barrier of entry into the premium travel credit card space. And having a $395 annual fee, it is 50% cheaper than some of the juggernauts like the American Express Platinum with that $895 price tag, the $795 Chase Sapphire Reserve, and just a little bit cheaper than that mid-tier Citi Strata Elite. So if you're someone that wants to dip your toes in the premium travel credit card space with not much commitment, then the Venture X is still the credit card for you. And the best thing that has always been the kind of biggest selling point for the Venture X is that it has the most justifiable annual fee. Because that $395 annual fee is easily going to get washed away with an annual $300 Capital One travel portal credit and a $100 in the form of 10,000 Capital One miles. So a $300 travel credit plus $100 in Capital One miles is $5 more than the $395 of your annual fee. Now, the hater side of me wants to ask the kind of question that a lot of people have but are scared to say is, are these credits really moving the needle in many people's wallets? Because travel portals are notoriously for overcharging their consumers. So can we really value this $300 credit at face value? So let's say we value it at $200 out of pocket plus the 10,000 miles. We are still paying about $95 for this credit card. And for what? the kind of biggest superpower of the credit card got stripped away. So you are essentially paying $95 annual fee for one person to get into the lounge, and some of the other miscellaneous benefits like cell phone protection and purchase protection, which are usually found on premium travel credit cards. So the real winner, of course, are going to be those that don't really value the additional guests, such as a solo traveler or someone that doesn't mind paying out of pocket. But from me, that has priority pass access already and all the other benefits that this credit card has, I just don't see it moving the needle in many people's wallets. Now, one of the biggest selling points is still going to be the ease of use of this credit card in relation to like the Amex Platinum, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, because it has zero coupons. To justify that $895 annual fee on the Amex Platinum, you need to utilize it's upwards of like 13 to 14 coupons to get your value and money back. Same goes for the Chase Sapphire Reserve. You have to juggle multiple credits just to justify said annual fee. For the Capital One Venture X, you just have two things you need to justify to just start to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So that is definitely a plus that will always have itself going for it. Staying on the hypercritical side of the Venture X, and especially as someone who kind of eats, and drinks credit cards and is asked about 2 times a day which credit card someone should apply for, I can't stop myself from comparing the Venture X to the lesser tiered Capital One Venture Card. And that is because the most kind of beneficial aspect of a credit card for most people is the sign up bonus. And more often than not, the Capital One Venture, especially at the time of filming this video, has a more lucrative sign up offer when you compare it to its $395 version, being the Venture X. Because both of them generally give you 75,000 bonus miles, but at the time of filming this video, the Venture has 75,000 miles plus an additional $250 travel bonus. So from a sign up bonus perspective, the Venture sometimes blows the Venture X out of the water. Not even including that, from an earnings perspective, the Venture as well as the Venture X have the same earning multipliers. They are both essentially a 2x catch all, meaning if you tap your Venture and Venture X at any place, whether it's a restaurant, hotel, flight, dining restaurant, they are going to achieve 2% back. So from a sign up bonus as well as earning potential, they are neck and neck. And the reason I like to do this is because the biggest selling factor was the lounge access. Again, I know I've talked about it 3 or 4 times in the video, but the lounge access is usually kind of the thing that moves the needle for most people. The coupons usually justify the annual fee and even get you a little ahead of the annual fee. And then the lounge access is usually the icing on the cake. But with the Venture X losing that aspect, I do believe it starts to kind of muddy the water when you compare it to the $95 annual fee Capital One Venture. To end the video, I definitely wanted to get out of my hater element and hypercritical side and talk about the good aspects of the credit card and who is going to be the overall winner of this, because there's still going to be a large amount of people with the Venture X in their wallet. And like I said in the earlier part of the video, I personally believe the solo traveler that had the Venture X in their wallet is going to be the winner of all this, because the credit card virtually goes unchanged. And not only that, you are now going to have less queue in the Venture X lounge, get in quicker, and have an overall better experience when you go into your lounge. And not only that, remember that the Capital One Venture X is going to get you access into those Capital One lounges, which are on par with the Chase Sapphire Reserve as well as the Centurion lounges, which often more than not have a higher level of experience when you compare them to the overall Priority Pass experience. And lounge access aside, I still believe the Capital One Venture X is the most hassle-free credit card on the entire premium travel credit card market. Because when you compare it to its counterparts that have 5+ coupons that need to be justified, the Venture X just has one, which is that $300 travel portal credit. And every single year after year with your 10,000 Capital One miles, the higher cents per point you can capture will lower your effective annual fee even more and even put some money in your pocket if you utilize it correctly. And the last thing is, from an overall credit card setup, simplicity is usually the name of the game with Capital One. Because if you just apply for one more credit card, being the Capital One Saver, you can start with the Capital One Duo, which will justify 99% of your areas of spend. Your Capital One Saver is going to be for fun and food, getting you 3x back on dining, groceries, entertainment, and some other miscellaneous expenses. And anything else that doesn't qualify on that card, you are going to utilize your Venture X for 2% back on all purchases. So this rotation is extremely hassle free. You don't need to think about it. If you're eating or having fun, you use your saver. If you're doing anything else, you use your Venture X. So, all in all, I still believe the Venture X has a place in many people's wallet. But if you are someone that is juggling multiple premium travel credit cards, I believe the line is starting to get blurred if you really need the Venture X in your rotation. But guys, drop me some comments below on what you think of these changes that are officially live and actually happen, and which premium travel credit card you are taking into 2026. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, as it directly supports my channel. If you want a video on the City Straw Elite, I'll have one right here for you.